my YouTube channel. My name is Bimbo Afolalu, and if this is your first time of visiting my channel, you are most welcome. Today's topic is, where are you? I'm going to repeat it again. Where are you? This is the first question God ever asked any humankind. In the Bible, Adam had sinned. He had eaten the apple that he was not supposed to eat, and he came to the realization of who he was. He was naked. He was a naked, sinful man, and he was ashamed of what he understood himself to be, and made some fig leaves for himself and his wife, and hid away from God. But God was still able to reach him, and he came to him and asked that question, where are you? When that question is being asked of you, it's a spiritual question for you to sit yourself down and do a self-analysis, a self-assessment of yourself, and know who you truly are. When you have the ability to take the courage to ask yourself that question and successfully answer that question, where are you, you would find out who you truly are. And that information would now help you to get to become the person you should become. It will help you to get to the destination that you should be. For instance, you have a look at the man that was in the Bible called Mephibosheth. He was in a town called Lullaby. That town was a fruitless place, a dead end. So some people would be in a place where it's actually a dead end. I remember years ago, I had to take some decisions to move from such a place. If you are in a place that is a dead end, it could be a nation, it could be a town, it could be a city. I remember when we were growing up, the people that that grew up in the villages, they moved to cities so that they will be able to get jobs, they will be able to make a living. So also, if you are in a location that is dry, if you are in a location that is limiting, you must move yourself from that place to a better location. David was looking for whom to be a blessing to in the household of Jonathan, his soulmate, and he asked, who can I be a blessing to in this household? And they were recommending that man, Mephibosheth. They had to go further down to go and get him from where he was, to bring him to a beautiful table to dine with the king. So today, I know that God is able to find you wherever you are, to bring you to a better location, so that you can enjoy life, so that you can be blessed, so that you can live a good life. It's God's will for all of us to live a good life. I'm not saying that people that live in a village cannot live a good life, don't get me wrong. You can live a good life wherever you are. Where I'm saying you shouldn't be is a dead end. A place where there is limitation, where there is restriction, where there is no production, where there is no productivity, where everything is dead. You know what I'm talking about. If you find yourself in that kind of shithole, you must move yourself to a better location. Better location spiritually, first of all, because when you are in a better location in your spirit mind, you will be able to locate things physically. You can still be in that village that things are not happening, but because you have the ability and the gifting of God, you will be able to bring things to that place. You'll be able to transform that dead end, and you'll be able to make it a good place, if that's how God is leading you. But there are some times that you must migrate from a dead end to a pleasant place. You could also be, you can refer to where you are, we can translate that to an emotional position, emotional place in your life. For instance, in the Bible, we had a man called King Ahaz. He was sitting in a beautiful place, in a corner where there is water pool, a water place. But emotionally, it was not in a good place. He was worried because his nation, there were rumors of wars. There was another king. They were threatening to come into his nation to wage war and to destroy his nation. So he was emotionally in a state of panic, in a state of anxiety. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about him being in a good location, in a good place physically, but emotionally this man was in a bad place. But because he had already positioned himself in a good physical position, an alignment with God, God was able to send a prophet Isaiah to him. He said to Isaiah, go and tell Ahaz, who is seated at the water place, that all the plans of the enemy against him, it shall not happen. It shall not happen. So sometimes you have threats coming to you, threatening your life. Emotionally, there's instability. Things are happening. In your office place, there's so much fighting, there's chaos, there's everything going on bad. But God is able to reach you in such circumstances. He's going to reach you and pull you out. And today I'm speaking on behalf of God, Almighty God, that in that situation where you are emotionally, in disarray, in unhappiness, in fear, in panic, in anxiety, in whatever mess that you are, I pray today that God would bring you out, and all the fears, all the anxiety, all the threats of the enemy against you, it will not come to pass. It will not happen. Anyone you are being threatened right now, you are going to lose your job. I'm declaring in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ that it will not happen. It will not happen. Anything that is not in the will of God for your life, it will not happen. Anything that is contrary to the will of God to your life, that is attacking you emotionally, attacking your mind, making you to be depressed, I pray today that those things will cease. They will not happen. They are only false. Fear is usually false appearance, appearing real to you. Most of those our fears never come to pass. So I declare and decree today that it is well with your soul, that your soul will have peace and calm. Let there be calm, let there be peace in your soul. Also, we can have a look at another location where somebody found himself in the Bible. He was the prodigal son. The prodigal son had a state where he was in an ego-driven life. He was in arrogance and the pride and the fullness of life. He was a youth. Youth are full of energy. They are full of what they think is wisdom. And this boy approached his father and asked for his division, his own portion of the inheritance. He took the inheritance, went away into a foreign land and lavished it on all sorts of nonsense. And he came to himself at some point, when he was now forced to go and work in a pig field, and he was looking at the food that the pigs were eating, and he was thinking to himself, even the servants in my father's household could eat better than I'm eating now. So he came to a realization of who he was. He now realized that he was a child of a powerful man. He never knew that before. All he saw his dad was a wallet, a source of income that he could take this and this and this and from and lavish and waste. He didn't see him as a kind man. He didn't see him as a blessed man. Now he came to that realization that even in my father's house, the servants are doing much better than I am. So he came to a realization of who he is as a true son of a great man. So he returned home and he became blessed. So therefore, today I'm asking you, are you in an ego-driven place? Are you making choices, taking decisions that is taking you away from who you are? There is good news. I always bring good news on this channel. You can do a turnaround. There's always a turning point in a man's life or a woman's life where you sit yourself down and decide that what you are, where you are, is not good. The moment you come to that confrontation of yourself and declare to yourself that Bimbo, where I am now, it is not good, then you have come to a breakthrough. You have come to a knowledge that knowledge will now prosper you. It will make you to move forward. It will make you to take you out of that bad place into the good place. You will now have goals to go and find out where you should be. You go and move forward in all that you are doing. That is how the question, where are you, is. If you are able to answer it correctly in any aspect of your life, you would move forward. You will become great. A lot of people have been running away from this question, where are you? I'm asking you today one more time, my sisters, my brothers, and my viewers, where are you? Where are you emotionally? Where are you physically? Where are you in your state of mind? Where are you? Financially, where are you? Should you be where you are now? Should you be where you are? Can you move more and more forward to where you should be? Do you like the man that you are becoming? Do you like the woman that you are becoming? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you in life? Where are you today? Where are you? Please answer that question for yourself. Sit yourself down. Do a little assessment. Write things down. Don't be discouraged. Don't be dismayed. If you find yourself to be in a bad place, move forward. Decide in your mind that you're going to be, like the word will say, at the right place and at the right time. There's always a timing to everything as well. Sometimes you might be in a bad place, but it's not your time to move to a good place. Wait for the time. Be patient. When the perfect timing comes, you would move. For instance, you are waiting on the Lord for a husband, you are waiting on the Lord for a wife, and you are in a place where you are single. Maybe at this time, this is how you should be, a single person. That's where you are. But a time cometh that you would move forward into all the desires of your heart. So today I pray that God will help you, God will assist you, God will locate you wherever you are, because it's God. He sees all things, all the universe He sees, and He is able to help you. I thank God for your life, and I pray again that it is well, and it's going to be well and well and well with you. Thank you for watching, and once again, I say bye-bye. See you next time.